Hi everybody and welcome to Different Leaf, a show for new and experienced cannabis consumers. I'm Brit Smith. If you can believe it, we're approaching 2 years since the pandemic was declared. And it's also been 2 years since we launched Different Leaf, the podcast. And what a 2 years it's been. When all our in-person events were cancelled in 2020, many of us started to lose touch with our communities. For some of us, smoking weed went from being a recreational activity that we did with our friends to being a daily vice that doubled as an anxiety medication. It has been a tough few years for sure, but if there's any light at the end of the tunnel, it's that we're now seeing the return of the in-person events like Cannabis Cups, where we can once again get together and enjoy some of the best parts of the 420 community. Good music, good food, and really good weed. This episode, we're going to explore what goes on at a Cannabis Cup event, what it takes to win a trophy, and where we can get to celebrate together this year. The world's first ever Cannabis Cup event was the High Times Cup in 1988 in Amsterdam. It was a gathering for marijuana enthusiasts where they could connect with like-minded people and find the best local seed producers. The 3 judges, made up of the event's 2 organizers and a photographer, crowned Skunk No. 1 by Cultivator's choice as the winner, handing them the first ever Cannabis Cup trophy. Since then, Cannabis Cup events have popped up all over the world, from Jamaica to Spain, from South Africa to Canada and Argentina. In the US, there are High Times Cups in Nevada, Illinois, and Colorado. There's the Emerald Cup in California, the Harvest Cup here in Massachusetts, and dozens more just like them across the nation. Cannabis Cup winners are considered the best of the best when it comes to pot products and cultivation. Sure, the winners get bragging rights and a leading reputation in their field, but importantly, as the legal industry continues to grow, winners will also see huge increases in revenue from folks that are seeking out their prize-winning plants, which can lead to more investors and major company growth. Some, like the Harvest Cup, use carefully selected judges who have proven to be highly knowledgeable about what makes a successful smoke. Others will let the local enthusiasts buy in, try samples, and vote for their favorite. Over the last decade, as legalization has spread, cups have gone from essentially being cannabis business trade shows with a competition component to something more akin to a summer festival, with live music, local vendors, beer gardens, and yard games. There are speakers and educators, and family-friendly fields where you can get some really good food and spark up a joint. Thankfully, as of late 2021, Cannabis Cups have been getting back into full swing, both indoors and outdoors. So I wanted to know, what are organizers doing to make these cup events into real celebrations of the cannabis community post-pandemic? And in this day and age, what makes the kind of bud or product that can actually win at a Cannabis Cup? First, I decided to hit up a few of the local Cannabis Cups that were being held in person. The season's first event, the Massachusetts Cultivators Cup, was held in early September in the coastal town of Somerset. The Cultivators Cup had the usual maze of marijuana company vendors, food trucks, games, and eventually winners were announced for lots of different categories of marijuana. But really, it ended up feeling more like a music festival with a cannabis appreciation fair. The event was put on by 2 local companies, the Farmacist and Therapeutics. And for the Cultivators Cup competition itself, only marijuana from licensed dispensaries could be entered. The judging was done by anyone who paid $420 to sample the entries and cast their vote. Oh, and some of hip-hop's most iconic names were there on stage, including the Wu-Tang Clan's very own Redman and Method Man.
Legalize the cannabis plant out this bitch. Yes, sir. And the Patriots still suck. Hey, it's only right that we take y'all back to a great time in hip-hop. And I'm talking about the time of 1990 motherfucking 2, when we did this.
And holding a joint the size of a baseball bat, Cypress Hill was there too. I caught up with Solar's Director of Marketing and Communications, Derek Gould, to see what went into organizing this massive Cannabis Cup come festival event.
Derek Gould, who has helped organize this whole event. What's your last 6 months been like?
It's been a wild ride. I would say this is something very, very important. It's first to state. It's something that's very unique that hasn't been done before here. So for us to partner, for Solar Cannabis Co. to partner with the Farmacist and put on the Cultivators Cup, not only from a cannabis competition perspective, but also a cannabis music event perspective, it's been a wild ride. That's all I can say.
So have you had any sleep over the last few days, or has it just been sort of a crazy rush at the end here?
None. No sleep.
Nothing?
No.
Well, I know about some good sativa and some good indica that can help you through that.
Yes, ma'am.
What has been the biggest hurdle for you getting a live event together after a pandemic sort of winding down?
Yeah, I think the buy-in has been there. I think people have, and I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone, obviously, but I think people want, they're looking to get out. Like we've been shut down for a year plus. And I know there's, the spike in increase in other cases, but again, we really just wanted to welcome the cannabis community to something that's never really been done before at least in this level, with a cannabis competition associated with it, a true blind cannabis competition associated with it, and just unite the family.
So tell me about the cannabis competition. This was a bunch of kits that were put together, and folks were able to buy the kits, and then what did they do? Send you back ballots with their ratings on it?
Yeah, so we had about 200 kits, about plus or minus. We had about a little over 200 kits. 16 competitors from licensed cultivators from Massachusetts, gave us a gram of flower. So we had 28 individual grams, so an ounce in total. They sold out, I'd say, in close to 3 days, which was huge. It's a true blind competition. We tried to make it as user friendly as possible. We had prepackaged envelopes with scorecards that they could send in the mail. They could drop them off at the dispensary, or they could submit an online form. So we really tried to make it as user-friendly as possible.
So when am I going to hear the results?
They announced them.
They did already?
It was at 4:20. Peter Dante did it.
Oh, no. I was smoking in a large field full of marijuana.
Nice.
Sorry that I missed that.
No, that's all right.
Who won? Do you remember?
Bountiful Farms won overall.
Bountiful Farms. All right.
I can get you the winners for different. So we had three additional categories: best smell, best bag appeal, and best cure, best taste, best visual.
Nice. So. All right. Well, I'll definitely have to check out some of those.
Yeah.
I also tracked down one of the judges who paid that $420 for the kit of bud samples to see what went into selecting the winners.
Hi, what's your name?
Mark Delgado.
I'm Brit. Nice to meet you. So I see that you are a judge here. How did you like all the flowers that you got to try?
There was a lot of interesting ones in there. A lot of new ones, a lot of good ones.
What did you end up voting for? What was the one that sort of got you going the most?
Well, I like number 6, but it didn't win. Number 8 and 10 was actually good too, but those are the ones that won for overall, and those are some good ones too.
When you were judging, what kind of things were you looking for in the bud?
Taste, more taste. Anything can look good, you want it to taste good. And THC count, just because it's high numbers doesn't mean it's actually good. I've smoked some with low THC counts and it tastes better than some of the other ones.
So does the look of it play any part for you? Like, do you want to see something with crystals or hairs?
Everything had crystals and hairs. That's what I'm saying, but some of the good ones, it smokes different. You can tell the difference. So.
How long have you been smoking for?
About 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Are you from here? Are you from this area?
I'm from Rhode Island. I have my own brand.
Half-baked exotics.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you guys make?
I got all edibles and all regular stuff, like all accessories, like rolling trays, ashtrays, stash jars.
Nice.
We're on Instagram, Half-Baked LLC.
Cool. Okay.
Clothing brand, I have t-shirts, everything.
Dope. Nice. Nice. Thank you so much.
And then I kicked back and enjoyed a joint and the energy of the crowd as these guys took the stage.
Salute, I love the burn to the roots. I keep coming to you for sperm from the roots. Yo, vigilante, hardcore. Yo, so you, my attitude is a demon.
Make sure you're subscribed to us wherever you're listening right now so you don't miss out when Different Leaf goes weekly in April. Keep up with us on social media at Different Leaf and at Different_Leaf. And make sure you're stocked up on all the issues of Different Leaf, the magazine, now available at select Whole Foods, Sprouts, Barnes & Noble bookstores, and at differentleaf.com. After getting back into the festival-like atmosphere of a real live Cannabis Cup, I wanted to check out what is at the heart of these events. Locally grown marijuana that is so damn good, it wins titles and trophies for best in its region. So I dropped by the winners of Solar's Cup, Bountiful Farms in Lakeville, Mass., where I got to tour the grows and pick the brain of cultivation manager and multi-cup winning weed guru, Zack Taylor.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
I'm Zack.
You must be Zack. Nice to meet you. I'm Brit. From Different Leaf.
Once we arrived, we had to make sure no outside germs would get inside the Bountiful Farms grow. So we put on these big white full body suits and booties that made us kind of look like the Michelin Man, and we entered an air shower chamber at the gateway to Bountiful's cultivation site.
We're about to enter here our air shower. We try to, aseptic is somewhat of a fallacy, especially with some of the natural microbials which plants actually produce, but we try to keep it very clean here. It's all about proactive versus reactive. So we're very proud of the fact that we are a pesticide-free facility, and how we're able to go about that is these funny suits. Every employee wears clean room scrubs, and the cultivation employees actually shower before entering. We have 10 showers throughout the facility, and then we have our 4 air showers. All of these things do not mean that we are not, we are immune by any means. Right. It's all about being proactive versus reactive.
Wow. So we're about to enter an air shower?
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
There's
like 20 nozzles on the wall. Feels like a tanning
actual,
booth.
like ISO 9 room or like in a computer lab or something like that, this would spray a chemical. This is just air. So that's what makes it not necessarily quote unquote aseptic. This can go, much further when you're getting into, real, clean rooms. So it just sprays air for 8 seconds and then it's HEPA filtration.
Oh, baby!
And it's fun.
It's fun.
So welcome to the cultivation part of Bountiful Farms.
Then head grower Zack explained how the layout of the site helps maintain the internal environment and contributes to keeping the entire grow operation healthy.
The hallways is the corridor which we have, so that's one of the important things is, when you kind of work in a lot of the larger grows, you learn of what not to do. And one of, I think, the mistakes they make is they don't have individual corridors. So sometimes you have to walk through one room to get to another room. Being, kind of proactive is all about avoiding cross-contamination when you can. Particularly here in Massachusetts, it's much different than growing in places like the Midwest. We don't have the humidity that you guys have here, so that brings other pathogens and other challenges. And so the HVAC system is not only designed for cooling, but also for dehumidification as well. And so it kind of enables me to keep the temperature fluctuation as well as the relative humidity fluctuation down, which prevents issues.
Mold and those kinds of things in the plants.
Absolutely, yeah. We certainly don't believe in the master grower notion. We're constantly stewards of this plant and constantly learning. There's no blueprint to this, especially on a commercial scale. So, but we believe it's kind of split into a 33.3%. So we believe that 33% of this is us as that cultivation team. The other 33% is the environment. And then you have your genetics. And it's the makeup of all those things which collectively makes high-quality cannabis, which is our ultimate goal. So
Amazing. All right, let's take a walk through.
Yeah, so we'll take a walk here. I'll kind of show you each individual room, and then this is, we consider the front of the house, and then we have the back of the house, which is all our processing. We don't believe in machine trimmers. We hand trim everything, and so that certainly takes a lot more time, a lot more effort, but it really...
It makes for a better bud.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We walked on to visit a couple of grow rooms that were filled with hundreds of plants stacked in 3 tiers towards the ceiling, all at different stages of growth that were specifically being grown for research and development purposes. There, we talked about all the different ways that cannabis plants can express themselves and how Zack figures out which ones to continue growing by going on a pheno hunt.
And then as you can see here, we're also researching different and various spectrums